Hello everybody and welcome. This is a Legacy School Comprehension lesson for Year 6, Week 3. For this lesson you'll need your green comprehension booklet, comprehension page 9. This is going to be our third lesson, and a pencil just to answer the questions. From The Demon Dentist by David Williams. The first thing you noticed about Miss Root was her teeth. She had the most dazzling white smile, whiter than white, like a fluorescent light. Her teeth were absolutely flawless, so flawless they couldn't possibly be real. The second thing you noticed about Miss Root was that she was impossibly tall. Her legs were so long and thin, it was like watching someone walk on stilts. She was dressed in a white laboratory coat, like the one a science teacher wears when it's time for an experiment. Underneath the coat, her white blouse was matched by a white, long, flowing skirt. As she passed, Alfie looked down and noticed a large splash of red on the toe of one of her shiny white high-heel shoes. "Is it blood?" thought Alfie. Miss Root's hair was white blonde and arranged in a perfectly lacquered do, usually only spotted on the heads of queens or prime ministers. The do was shaped much like a Mr. Whippy ice cream, minus the flake. So imagine an ice cream cone, if you have a soft serve ice cream cone from a machine. In a certain light, she looked very old. Her features were very narrow and pointy, and her skin pale as snow. However, the dentist was painstakingly painted on so much makeup that it was impossible to tell how old she really was. 50? 90? 900? Finally, Miss Root reached the front of the halls. She turned around and smiled. The low winter sun shone through the high windows and bounced off her teeth, causing the front few rows to cover her eyes. Good morning, children, she said brightly. The dentist spoke in a sing-song manner, as if she were recounting a nursery rhyme. There was a collective groan from the kids and at being spoken to as if they were toddlers. Good morning. I said, "Good morning, children," repeated the dentist, and she fixed them all with a powerful stare. So powerful that soon a hush descended upon the room. Then, in unison, all the assembled pupils said, "Good morning. Let me introduce myself. I am your new dentist. My name is Miss Root, but I ask all my little patients like you to call me Mummy." Alfie and Gabs stared at a look of disbelief. "So can I hear a great big hello, Mommy? After 3. 1, 2. Miss Root mouthed the word silently as the children joined in. "Hello, Mommy," they murmured. So here I want you to stop and think, why were the children murmuring? Why weren't they saying it happily? Excellent. Now I came to this town when a very unfortunate, indeed fatal accident befell Mr. Erstwhile. The poor wretch must have fallen on one of his own dental instruments. Oh, the irony. Of course, there's no need to go into all the gory detail, but suffice it to say, Mr. Erstwhile was found lying on the floor of his surgery in a huge pool of blood. The dental probe was embedded into his heart. A dental probe is one of the instruments that a dentist uses to clean your teeth. A deafening silence descended on the hall. Alfie gulped. It was a horrifying image. Mr. Erstwhile may have been odd and doddery, but could he really have accidentally stabbed himself in the heart? Mummy would like you all to give 1 minute's silence for Miss Erstwhile. Now close your eyes, children. All of you. No peeping. Alfie didn't trust Miss Root enough to close his eyes. Nor did Gabs. Both screwed up their faces and squinted. From out of the tiny slits in their eyelids, Alfie spied something very strange. Instead of standing at the front with her own eyes closed, Miss Root tiptoed around the room, inspecting all the children's teeth. When she finally reached Alfie's row at the back, the boy squeezed his eyes tightly shut for fear of getting in trouble. Miss Root must have lingered looking at his rotten set, as the boy could feel her cold breath on his face for a while, before she tiptoed back to the front of the hall. "And that's 1 minute," the dentist announced. "Thank you, children. You can open your eyes." Alfie and Gabs looked at each other again. They were the only two kids who had witnessed Miss Root's peculiar behavior. All right, so now that we're done reading, we're going to go ahead and answer the following questions. Make sure you answer them in full sentences. Number 1, write 2 sentences that will describe Miss Root's appearance. You can use your own words. Number 2, who is Mr. Erstwhile and what actually happened to him? Notice here that actually is in full caps, so we don't want Mr. Erstwhile's version of the story. What do you think actually happened to him? Number 3, which 2 words are used to describe Mr. Erstwhile? Number 4, in which season did this happen and how do you know? So for this question, you definitely need to go back into the passage and find clues that indicate which season this story occurred. Number 5, why was it difficult to tell the age of Miss Root? 6, look at the first 4 paragraphs of the story and find an example of a simile. Remember, a simile is a group of words or a phrase or a clause that describes something by comparing it to something else, using the words like and as. Number 7, what does it mean that the student said something in unison? You might need to use a dictionary for this. Number 8, based on what you read, why did Miss Root want the children to close their eyes? Number 9, what made Alfie surprised when he looked at her shoes? Number 10, what was Miss Root's hair compared to? So these are all easy questions. You'll find the answers just by going back into the passage. For number 11, I want you to look at the following sentence from the text. She had the most dazzling white smile, whiter than white, like a fluorescent light. Her teeth were absolutely flawless. What method is the author using to create a strong image in these sentences? Circle the correct answer. So we have personification, and you should know that personification is describing a non-living thing or a non-living object as behaving like a living thing. A metaphor, which is describing something by comparing it to something else. An exaggeration, which is just adding on or being overly dramatic in the way that you describe something. And alliteration, which is a group of words that all begin with the same beginning sound. Go ahead and circle the one that you think fits the most. For the next question, you're going to explain the following words as they are used in the text. It's important that you use it you write the definition how it is used in the text or in context. We have the words flawless, peculiar, lacquered, squinted, and dottery. And for extension work, people, especially children, do not like to go to the dentist. Why do you think the dentists have such a bad reputation? And how do you feel when you go? I want you to write a minimum of 50 words and not more than 80 words. All right, thank you guys, and I can't wait to see your work.